Hello friends, it is Stasia and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be starting my May unwrapped reading challenge, and I don't know how I feel about these books, but let's quickly rewind to my May TBR to see the books that I unwrapped. So this is the first one that I grabbed, the hardcover, and we'll see what we get. I'm kind of nervous because if I'm being honest, I already forgot all of the books that were picked, and I don't know if I have a lot of thrillers left or if it's a lot of romance or what are even the options. All right, so here's the first book. Okay. The first book is The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. Also pretty weird. So I went to the Reese Book Club pop-up in LA a few years ago when I got this book, and I also got this sweater there, so that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. I believe this is contemporary, but when it came out everyone was raving about it, so I was like, all right, I'll get it, I'll give it a try. I don't know that I'm in the mood for it, so we'll see how I end up feeling about it. I will say I don't think that I would have picked this up any earlier on my own. So because it's an unwrapped book, I will get to it sooner rather than later, and I don't know, we would just see how that goes, honestly. And then the second book is I don't know which way I wrapped it. Maybe this way. Okay, The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This I can live with because I actually have read Lisa Jewell and I have enjoyed her. So this is a thriller. I don't know much about the book itself. I just know it's a thriller. Like I said, I have enjoyed Lisa Jewell in the past, but I will also say I've also not enjoyed her in the past. I do know that there's a follow-up book to this, so I don't know if I would end up reading that one as well. But all right, we have a thriller. I think this is considered contemporary, not completely sure because I don't know the plot on this one, but definitely a thriller. I feel like these are not very similar books, so this will make for an interesting vlog. So as you've seen, I just unwrapped The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller and The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This is a contemporary, and I'm not super sure on what it's about, but it's kind of long. It's almost 400 pages, so I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and try to pick up the audiobook for this one. And then for The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell is very hit or miss for me. This is also well, no, this one's a bit shorter. This one's only 340. I don't know if I'm gonna try to audiobook this, but I will for sure audiobook this one. I may pick up the audiobook if I can, if it's available, and just see how it goes at first, and then we'll kind of see what ends up happening. I don't know what this book is about at all, but I am gonna start with Lisa Jewell only because I know that I'll get through Lisa Jewell a lot faster than I probably will The Paper Palace. So we're gonna start with The Family Upstairs. I think that this book also has a sequel. And I'm not sure what the sequel is about, but I'm almost positive this is the book that has a sequel. So we're gonna start with The Family Upstairs. I'm very excited. Like I said, Lisa Jewell is pretty hit or miss for me, so I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but I do know that this is one of her books that most people have enjoyed. So I am excited. So we'll go ahead and dive into The Family Upstairs, and I will chat to you all again when I reach 50% with some initial thoughts and a short synopsis on the book. So chat to you all soon with an update. Hi friends, I'm back with an update because I am a little bit past the 50% mark of The Family Upstairs. I ended up going a little past because there's like a part 2. So I just decided to stop there. So I believe it's like maybe like 10-15 pages off the actual like 50% mark, which is obviously not a big deal. So, what is this book about? This book is told in dual timelines. Main girl, kind of, is named Libby. Libby was adopted because when she was like 10 months old, there was like they said it was a suicide pact that happened at her house with like her birth parents. So I guess there's like a trust fund or like a will or something that gets released to her when she's 25. At the start of the book, it is her 25th birthday, and she gets the letter to find out who her family really is. What she doesn't know is that her entire family is dead, and they have left her the mansion that they lived in and died in, essentially. So when the cops are arriving to this mansion 25 years ago, there's like 3 dead bodies, and I guess like a note or something that is leading them to think it was like a suicide pact, and then a note talking about Libby saying like, oh, this is who she really is, blah 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 blah, take care of her. So the cops also discovered that there were 4 other children living in the house at the time of that situation, and they have all vanished. Not a trace of anything, not hospitals, not police stations, nothing. None of them have been anywhere. So the police have no idea where these 4 children went. So since it's told in dual timelines, we're getting the current situation of her realizing she's now the owner of this house, and that, you know, she has siblings and who her parents were, who her family was, that sort of thing. And we are also getting like the 1990s-ish, I believe, is when the rest of the events are taking place. And that's basically following the perspective of the kids who lived in this house and what was going on, because in the previous timeline, I think we mainly follow Henry, and then we get kind of the other kids in the current timeline. So we kind of are following Henry, and he's kind of talking about how this family has moved into his house, and he has no idea why they're there, what they're doing, when they're leaving, or anything like that. So everything is just a bit odd, but nobody actually knows what's happening. So that's what we're following in the previous timeline, and in the current timeline we're following her discover who she is. But we're also getting chapters from who we assume are the other children who were in the house prior. So that's kind of where we're at. So far, I am actually really enjoying it. I feel like the past timeline is just eerie. They're saying that it's like culty, and I just feel like it's so atmospheric. I'm like, I actually have no idea what anyone's intentions are. I don't know what they want, if they want anything from her, because her name is actually Serenity. So we're like, do they want to be her sibling, or do they want, like, what do they want from her? We're assuming that they all now know that she has gotten this house, and that's pretty much all we can assume. We don't know how they feel about it. We don't know their intentions with her. We don't know if they're even going to approach her or anything like that. But yeah, so really enjoying it. I just don't know what is actually gonna happen. But it is a super fun read so far. Very engaging, very easy to read. I was a bit like scared at first because there were so many names, but I think once you get into like the actual story, the names, it's fine. Like, you know who's who. Like, each sibling is very different, even though like the chapter names don't tell you which sibling we're following. Their lives are so different that you kind of know who you're following. So that is where we're at. Very much enjoying it, hoping to finish it either today or tomorrow. Tomorrow is technically the escape readathon, so if I can finish this before then, that would be great, but if not, it's fine. So that's kind of where we're at with the family upstairs. Every single person I've posted in Discord servers that I'm reading this, and everyone is like very excited. So everyone says that this is their favorite Lisa Jewell, so I'm excited to see how everything turns out. But we have just part 2 left, and we will see what happens, and then I would check in with you all when I finish The Family Upstairs. Hi friends, I'm back with an update. So I did end up binging and just straight up finishing The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Not for me. Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people love it, and I was fully expecting to love it. I have mentioned that I have enjoyed Lisa Jewell in the past, but I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. It was fine. I just felt like there was so much buildup to nothing. Like, essentially nothing even happened. Like, the reveal was just very anticlimactic to me. The, like, even, like, small reveals, the trickling stuff, I didn't care for. And I don't know, I really loved the setting of them all, like, coming back to meet the baby who's now 25. And all of the, like, small reveals were just fine. I just thought that by the end of the book, something more shocking would have happened. But I guess I can't say too much without actually spoiling the book. I don't know if I'm gonna read the sequel. I know that there is a sequel to this book, and I guess I'm not entirely sure who or what it follows. But I don't know. I just feel like the overall mystery or, like, questions of this book on, like, what actually happened could have been more extravagant. I don't know. And then there was, like, side comments about it being, like, a cult situation, and I feel like that would have been better. I feel like if we ran with that plot line, it would have been so much more fun. But I don't know, 3.5, not the best Lisa Jewell I've ever read, but also not the worst. I know so many people loved it, so if you've read the sequel, definitely let me know if it is worth picking up, even though I didn't completely love this one, because I can be convinced to still read the sequel. So 3.5 for Lisa Jewell, that is fine. I thought that this was gonna reopen thrillers for me, and it did not. Nothing has reopened thrillers for me yet, which is so sad, but that's fine. That's fine. That's done. So now the next book I will be reading is The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. It's a contemporary, but also a romance, I think. I don't know. I really don't know too much about this book, but I know that when it came out, a lot of people were really enjoying it. So we'll see where I end up with it. But I'm gonna start it today. I don't think I'm gonna finish it today, but I am gonna start it today, and whenever I get to 50%, I will go ahead and pop back in and give you guys a short synopsis on what the book is actually about and some starting thoughts. So I'll go ahead and start this now, and then pop in whenever I reach the 50% mark. I don't know. I'm gonna try the audio and see how that goes. If I'm not focused on the audio, I'll try to read it with my eyes. I've heard, I think there's 2 people that I know who have DNF'd the book. So I'm not a big DNF'er, but if I literally just, like, can't get through it, it may end up coming to that, but let's hope not. So we'll see how I end up enjoying The Paper Palace, and I'll be back soon with an update. Hi friends, I am back with an update for The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. So I'm not quite halfway through. I got to page 150, and I think I'm gonna DNF it. I don't think that it's the book for me. It's definitely more of, like, a contemporary book. I just don't like, I guess, the themes of the book and, like, what's happening and how it's being spoken about. I don't know if there would have been a resolution by the end on if anybody got better, but as of now, I'm just not enjoying my time with it, and obviously there's not enough time in the world to be reading these books that I'm genuinely just not enjoying. So I am going to DNF this one and obviously unhaul it. I won't go on my Goodreads goal or anything like that. I don't really count DNFs that way, but I have decided to DNF at 150. Not for me. I know when it came out, lots of people were loving it. I was seeing people whose book recommendations that I've enjoyed at the time that this came out, they were recommending it. So I think that's why I originally thought that I was gonna pick it up. But I guess I'm just not the girl for it, which is completely fine. It happens. I know that I was nervous about this book from the start, so it is what it is. So unfortunately, not a very successful unwrapped vlog. I have the Paper Palace, which I DNF'd, and then the Family Upstairs, which of course was another one that I wanted to love, and ended up giving it 3.5 stars, which obviously is not bad, but I was hoping for a 5-star. So not the most successful vlog, but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. So that is all for my May Unwrapped reading challenge. I will hopefully see you all soon when I do my June Unwrapped reading challenge. So that is all from me for today. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.